Hoops. And this is like a really special introduction for me because I've known Bob, Coach, forever. Since high school days, and we've already talked about no high school stories, so that's not going to be happening today. But it was a really fun time, and this man is a legend in his own right. He knows everything there is to know about basketball. He is an unbelievable coach, an educator. He has a ton of experience with that as well. And all of that coming together here in this really awesome facility that you're going to get to take a tour of to kind of, what is it you do here? I mean, you teach kids basketball, but specifically, what do you do here?
I think almost every facet of the game we work on here. The passing skills, the dribbling skills, the ball handling skills, the layup skills, agility work, footwork, strength and conditioning.
And you know what, he's had some pretty good names come through here. And you've coached some pretty impressive people, which is really fun to watch. So when I say legend, I know you hate that, but that is what you are. You're a legend in this business. And tell us a little bit about your history with the game.
Well, I have now worked for 15 Hall of Fame coaches. That's Namesmith Hall of Fame coaches. From Coach Calipari to Kathy Rush to Vivian Stringer from Rutgers, Dean Smith at North Carolina, Jim Boeheim, Lute Olson, Gino Auriemma, Muffet O'Brien, Dawn Staley, the latest success story. Dawn actually coached for me when I directed Blue Star for Mike Flynn and coached against her. One of my players who went to Syracuse University on full ride played against her at Dobbins Tech, down at Dobbins Tech. So the list goes on of the people that I've worked for, traveled all across the country to learn from. And when you turn the TV on the last couple of weeks, there are at least 6 coaches currently coaching, from Georgia Tech, Josh Pashner, to the coach from USC. There are so many people that I've had the experience of coaching with. I'm not going to teach it if I don't know it. So that is extremely important. I want the players and parents to realize that when you come in here, you are getting what you pay for. The experience, the expertise, and the constant development.
Yeah, one of the things I think that is really cool, my kids came here, and actually they worked here.
Yes.
They actually helped coach here. And one of the things that I have always said is you set such a great foundation in these kids that they're not getting injured. They're really learning how to play this game safely, and they're getting all of the well-rounded training so that they're protecting their body. And I think that's special, and I don't think people talk about that quite often. Besides the skills that you're teaching them, the ball handling, and how, Alex was a point guard, how to play these different positions, you really do all of that here with all these awesome tools that you have.
See, the days of just dribbling a basketball or two are long gone. Now, everything is overload. And for example, we use three different size basketballs. The men's and women's big ball, featured at the top and at the bottom, the lighter color. We actually sit down and do ball handling skills using Pilates balls, sitting against a wall where we dribble a basketball with one hand, hold the Pilates ball with the other. We have the so-called heavy ball, which is a 3-pound basketball that we use consistently for dribbling, and the regulation men's and women's ball. That's why you see so many racks here. Big, heavy, regulation, men's and women's regulation ball. So in order to follow up on what you just said, we will have players stand on the BOSU, either flat or the round part of it, and they have to dribble a basketball. While they're dribbling the basketball, they're working one hand, working the battle rope. So we have a player standing on it, working the battle rope. So we're working on the legs, the balance, we're working on the front part of the body, we're working on the arm strength. So much of the game has changed today, so we're trying to accommodate the changes as they're evolved in probably the last 3 or 4 years.
And I just love these sayings that you can see all over the walls here. The only thing that hurts worse than pain is failure. We talk about these things even in real estate. This is so crazy. Athletes don't rise to the occasion, they sink to the level of their training. We talked about that too. It applies to a lot of things. You're teaching these kids really good life lessons so that they can grow up and be contributors to the world and take care of themselves and grow into really good human beings.
We talk about what we have on the wall. We want the players to understand it's more than just the skills. It is a life skill, the punctuality, the discipline, the respect that they're supposed to give to their coaches and their parents. Yes, mom. Yes, dad. Yes, coach. No, coach. So one of the ways we can certainly reinforce what we're trying to do is looking at the quotes. And There's not much wall space left. I
No,
tried
there's
to
not.
accommodate the most important quotes that I think are relevant to the kids today. For example, people come in and ask about the number 87 and the number 13. The number 87 is 4 foot by 4 foot in red. The number 13 is 1 foot by 1 foot in orange because it's basketball. 87% of the athletes playing in any sport are average. 87%. Only 13% of the athletes in a sport are elite, measured by the training, measured by the attitude, the work ethic, and of course the competition. So we try and remind the kids, you don't want to be in that average. You want to push yourself to be in the 13.
Yeah.
What you're going to see in the next couple minutes are what we call our agility poles. These are a primary feature. I first saw this with Derek Rose on ESPN Sports Science several years ago. So I had a carpenter custom make these. What we do is have a player dribble 1 or 2 balls around and underneath the poles. But while they're doing that, they have to stop, start, or go based on what they see with the traffic light. For example, the yellow is a slowdown, it's Chris Paul, green is acceleration, and the red is a definite ball stop, arm bar defending, and the ball nice and low, and we're looking up. So we use the agility poles every time we have a session. That's part of what we do inside. We also use them outside when we do our layup skills. So this is an important feature. We utilize the D-men and we put them in a variety of spots on the court. We put them at the box, we put them at the wing, the top, the elbows. So players will literally have to drive underneath one of these things and drive to the basket. So we're learning to beat a defensive player. So it would look, for example, something like this. We're teaching players to go to the basket and they have to accommodate a very small window. So they have to go either right or left around the defensive player underneath this. So this represents a defensive player, arms and legs. This represents a defensive player. So we teach the players as the NBA teaches players. Educate the feet, educate the grip on the ball on the right side of the hip. We burst to the basket with our first and second step, and we explode, as the NBA calls it, striding out to the basket, working to look to get into the numbers. Now, I first learned this from a coach in California. The backboards are numbered because we want to teach players different shots. Number 6, for example, on the right side is a cup and scoop. 5 on the right side is a sidearm layup. We teach the players primarily to use number 3, which is called a forearm layup, because players are taller, longer, more vertical. So we want the ball high and soft on the glass. 2 is everything on the opposite side, cup and scoop, sidearm on the 1. We do not teach the players number 4. That's probably going to be a block shot because players are getting the ball too low, and that's what we call a forearm layup, when the ball comes back and smacks you in the head. So we want the players to learn to get the ball high, number 3, and soft on the backboard.
Is that good?
That was very good. But I have to give you a basketball too to make it more authentic.
I don't know, I might be embarrassed if you're trying to
No,
get me to
you would
dribble.
not. You're an athlete. That's not going to happen.
I know. So wait till you see out here. This is amazing. What you've done out here is just unbelievable. Top rate. Check it out.
This I'm very proud of. We put this in 11 years ago and just had to resurface the court about 2.5 years ago. This, I have been told by numerous basketball studs, I guess you could say, or experts, this is the nicest outdoor court in the state of Pennsylvania. And there are several reasons for that. The size of it, it's a college court in dimensions. The backboards are exactly what you would see at the college level. But most importantly, it has the features that the 76ers training facility has in Camden, New Jersey. For example, Brett Brown made famous for the NBA and for a lot of college coaches the so-called 4-point line. So we teach players to start at the 4-point line, step and shoot. That way they don't violate as if they're at the 19-9 and they step and then they lose their 3-point opportunity. The red line is our defensive line for coaches and players to understand ball side, help side. We have spacing letters like the Sixers, slant and wing. different parts of the court. So players understand today's game is about 5 out, 2 in the corner, 1 at the top, 1 at the high post elbow or wing elbow, anywhere on the court. So we want the 5 part for spacing. The red boxes are what the Sixers refer to as their sweet box or honey box. This is where you see players today, college level, pro level, when they get down the court, they don't go to the low box, they go right to the corner. This is a constant in today's game. The low box is something I picked up from the Sixers and the Milwaukee Bucks. This is called the room box or low box. So we get players to understand they can get underneath the defense, whether it's man or zone, by going across the baseline and getting underneath the defense. So these are 5 very important features that distinguish this court. And once again, we have a traffic light on the backboard and numbers on the backboard. But another feature that I think is extremely important for our players, our baskets have what is called the PJ on it. It's called the perfect jumper. And coaches that use that on the rim, their shooting percentages, the player shooting percentages go up by 20%. Instead of an 18-inch rim, you're working on a 14-inch rim. So you're learning to get the ball more vertical. Your layups, your shooting, perimeter shooting changes because if you get the ball flat, it's not going in. It's a very slim chance of going in.
So that was awesome, but let's go check out this sand pit because I think this is a really cool training piece.
Our players love this. Once in a while, I'll put some sand trucks in the corner so the kids feel like they're down at the beach. But we are very excited about this. As the weather breaks, we will use this exclusively. It'll be part of what we do inside and outside. And obviously, we can't dribble in the sand, but you can pass in the sand. You can do layups in the sand. You can do ladder work in the sand. You can use slosh tubes in the sand, rebounding drills, even shooting mechanics in the sand. And it's fun, but it's also difficult. About 13, 15 minutes in this, the heart rate explodes. If you're really working hard, this is a great playing experience for the kids because it is so demanding physically and certainly emotionally as well, because you're going to deal at some point in time with the heat and the sand and all kinds of, I think, environmental issues, the sun, everything will make it very challenging. It's fun.
Come on guys, let's go check out the rest of this over here.
There's 2 more, I think, very important features of what we offer. We focus a lot of attention on dribbling skills. In the average session, players put the ball on the court 4,000 times. I'll repeat, 4,000 times. We do our indoor work, we do our layup work, we do our sprint work, but we also do ladder work. We have players dribble 1 or 2 basketballs uphill. We do it sideways, we do it backwards, we do it on one leg, we do it as sprints, we sprint up. We have to learn to stop very quickly like James Harden. We want to be able to accelerate downhill and stop very quickly like James Harden. We also do short passing drills here with the heavy ball. So a player will face a player and we slide, step and slide, and we work our passing drills. This is a very demanding piece of what we do. It's uphill, we're doing it with the heavy ball, doing it with 2 balls. This really gets the heart rate racing.
So Coach, you have to explain this.
This is another new feature. Actually, the 2 items that you're looking at, I have a federal patent on. One is for passing, which you see as the cylinder. The other one is for mechanical shooting, but we have these in other spots on the property. This is primarily for passing. Today's passes, by the way, are not focusing on the chest pass. As Brett Brown said recently at a clinic, the chest pass is dead. It's something that's used as an outlet pass. Players are learning today to use the flick pass or the push pass. So we want players to learn off the dribble the flick pass. If you watch Gillespie from Villanova this year, everything was between the legs, off to behind the back, into a flick pass. It's a much quicker pass. It's also a more dangerous pass because you can't pull it back, but players are learning now. You learn to pass away from the defense. So we do a bounce pass through this, we do a flick pass through it, and it's amazing the number of kids that will miss a 15-foot spacing marker, which we have marked in green. People will still miss a cylinder that's this close. So we teach the passing part of it.
Yeah, I think that's what's really neat is the foundational things that you're teaching them that they're not getting elsewhere. And that's what makes them so great.
There's, in my opinion, one of the things that frustrates me at times is it's the only profession where you don't have to do an apprenticeship, get a license, or get a degree. Anybody can put the word coach on their shirt and they're coaching kids. And that blows my mind, and it does upset me when I do coaching clinics. If you're going to coach, you have to study the skills, the fundamentals, the psychology of it. You have to prepare for it. And our job is to make sure that these kids get the skills, cross-section of it, every part, every facet of the game we try and cover as a skill part of it, plus the discipline, the responsibility, and respect that goes with it.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. I mean, it is a well-rounded thing that you're doing here, taking care of these kids. This is a really special place. So if they want to learn some more about what you do here, should they go to Bob Koch Hoops Facebook page?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That would be the route. Or you can call me directly at 610-608-7624 or email me at coachbobkoch@gmail.com.
There you go. So guys, if you want to take your child's skills to the next level and you think they have the ability to be pretty great in basketball, they should be here. He will get them a great head start. Hey guys, this On The Go has been awesome. Wait till you see where we go next. We're really excited.